lost my best friend. No! Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Friday Night with WoW. Although tonight is a Thursday, that's because tomorrow there are games for the Blitz Cup preliminaries. So that's why Friday Night with WoW will be moved to tonight. And obviously, it is an open forum, so everyone, you're free to join in and have a chat about top four predictions on the Blitz Cup for both Asia and the EU server. Right now, I have the EU for EU beside me, so it is a really good thing to see. But let's get more people joining in very soon, and I'll be happy. Um, before we continue, let me tell you kind of the current standings for the different teams. This is the EU server standings. Loca currently with 4 points, winning 16 matches. Legion with 3 points, winning 15 matches. Immortals in the third place with 2 points, winning 12 matches, and then we have the fourth and the fifth place tied with both Endgame and Raid with 2 points. Finally, Win will be having 1 point, winning 11 matches. APA 9 wins, and So's with 5 wins, with only 1 point. So at this point, all of the EU clans have already won at least one of the fixtures, and I believe this is going to be a very tight one to call. We're going to have a very deep talk on all of the teams here, and I kind of have to apologize in advance because there has been very little time for me to prepare. So, especially for the Asia server, I haven't had the time to look at all the matches of the clans. I'll try my best. Hello, Agent Lion. I'll try my best to tell my thoughts on each of the clan, and hopefully Fujit's going to join me very soon, and hopefully I hope Erinette's going to join me if she could. Asian Lion, if you would like to chat about your top four predictions, let's hop into the server and join the Oh No chat. That would be good. Hello Spitfires as well. Next, we're going to look at the Asia server region as well. The standings that are there at the moment. I'm pretty sure I didn't mute anyone, did I? Because everyone is muted here. But anyway, let me run this file, and this is the Asia server standings. Okay, that's good. Asia server standing, we have Feast, 4 points, winning 16 matches at the GV. With 3 points, winning 15 matches alongside HLV. Team ID winning 2 points with 13 wins here, and Low with 2 points, winning 9 matches. Boone, only 1 point, but they have already won 12 matches here, and Cats only 9, but with 1 point as well. RN is the only clan with 0 points, and but they still won 7 games, so that's good. Welcome, Agent Lion. He's here as well. So we have 4 people here, but none of them are from Asia server here. I don't know if there is someone who is watching from the Asia region. Please come and join the chat, because otherwise I probably won't spend a lot of time for predicting the top 4 of the Asia server. But Asian Lions Spitfires and the Dew for Ryu. Maybe we can have a chat about top 4 predictions on the Asia server, because we'll start with Asia, because because the people watching from the Asia server, it's probably past midnight already, so let's actually begin with Asia server, shall we? You can unmute yourself if you want to talk about Asia as well. I haven't prepared a lot about Asia. I haven't actually watched any of the games yet for Fujits and Internet Zinzan and also Sion. And Bilibili is a website that is actually very, very user unfriendly. I can't even trace back the streams. I can't recap the streams. And this is, I don't know why Bilibili became one of the most popular streaming platforms for the Chinese region. It's so unfriendly that I just don't know. Well, thanks for saying skip Asia there, you not their users. Nope, I won't skip that because I'm streaming that Asia region, so I have to kind of give some fairness to them. So, but because none of the guys here currently in the chat are on the Asia are from the Asia server, I won't spend a lot of time on it unless there are more people from the Asia server watching. Then I will talk about that.
Well, we didn't hear your top 4 predictions yet.
Yeah. So let's go with top 4 predictions. I believe top 4 for Asia is preset. The top 4 you're seeing right here, I think will be the final top 4. I don't think we'll see any changes. I think Low are pretty. I mean, they've done. I think they surprised us a lot. They've got 2 points, but I think that could get them that far. I don't see anyone below top 4 going to overtake the current top 4 in the Asia server. What do you guys think? Well, silence.
Well, from 7 to 8 is only a 1 point difference, though. There's still 2 rounds left.
Yeah, there's still 2 days left, but I think the only challenger would be Boon. I think the only challenger. I think RN they could be a very good team, but then they need to win at least like 2 of the next 2 matches next. And if we look at the fixture for RN, they're going to be facing GV, ID, and also Cats. 2 of them are currently in the top 4, so I believe our end. I think it's the end of their top 4 hopes, to be honest with you. So like Bean would be the only clan that I think who challenge top 4. We'll see. What do you think, that you for you?
Well, so far with the tournaments, Asia has kind of been a wild card. I was actually shocked to see Feast step it up a little bit. So to have any certain predictions is kind of like you might as well just vote with Madbox.
Oh yeah, Madbox did agree that the final top 4 will be the current top 4 will be the final top 4.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been pretty unstable. So.
Yeah, I mean, Madbox it has been pretty inaccurate so far, and I think I have to kind of make a big fix to Madbox, and because Madbox just predicting a lot of the results, a lot of the outcomes wrong, and I'm pretty surprised that the Asia server is pretty unpredictable in that way. But Madbox is like taking with a grain of salt, and if Madbox is to be a betting company, that betting company would be filing for administration because it is that bad. But sorry.
Yeah, no. It's like I said, I mean, I wouldn't put any money on any team until at least after tomorrow night. So.
Right, but I believe it's going to be Feast GVHRV. I don't think we'll see any surprises. Maybe I'm wrong because Asia server this season has been pretty unpredictable. For example, I've been saying RN is a front runner, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe we're going to see someone falling graciously bad down the packing order. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm kind of shocked in Feast play. They stepped it up and they scored some points. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have a lot to talk about Asia server, so let's go to EU
Well,
server.
okay.
Yeah, because I think you guys would get bored if I keep on talking Asia server, and none of the Asia guys are here in this stream. So let's change into. Oh, got 14 current viewers. So guys, if you're watching, please, I put a link on the chat there. Join the Oh No chat. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your opinions, and we're going to move on to EU server. This is the current table. Let me get the right trailer first. Not the let us start with eight, shall we? Yeah, where are you? There we go. This is the trailer of This is not the right one. Okay. Like the slides have been so messed up. There we go. Here is the APA slide. There we go. This is the roster for you, but I'm not going to announce them. But APA, this season, I think um, they have. I think they have been somewhat impressive, although they're not currently in the top four at the moment. Originally, I was predicting that APA would be languishing at the bottom of the table, struggling heavily in the top eight. But this is not the case. APA, especially yesterday against Immortals, they really have shown that what they are capable of. Um, in my opinion, I think what APA is really good at is actually the defensive maneuvers. They're able to kind of defend cat leads and so on, defend areas pretty well. And Immortals, while against Immortals, like yesterday, Immortals have to kind of figure out a way to kind of break them down, and sometimes they encounter difficulties. It's not like Immortals could break them down 100%. This is what I think APA is really good at. But I think what they are struggling could be I can't really say about Focus Fire. I think their Focus Fire wasn't the best I've ever seen so far, and their I mean, when they don't have Catlin, when they need to make rotations stuff like that, they haven't been very brilliant. So that's kind of my comment on APA. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Well, but you didn't answer. Do you think they'll make the top four?
Okay, did they make the top four? I don't think so. I think they will need to do a lot better here. I think basically, kind of the focus fire and the rotation that I think they should try to kind of fix first. I believe there is a lot lot left to be decided for APA. I think. But they definitely have improved from that. I'll call it an embarrassment here. I'm sorry, APA, but that loss against Loca was quite not really that good. But yesterday's performance was a much better performance by APA. That's for sure. Uh, they kind of have to kind of step up notch in order to kind of take the top four. But I don't know what you guys think about APA. Surprise.
I actually think that APA's gameplay doesn't fit anymore. The top eight, because they're playing map control against teams that now are focused because they're in top eight.
Yep.
So like they're more focused. They're way more focused than for the qualifiers because it requires less skill to qualify than to actually play for the top four right now. So I think that's the issue. I don't think they changed anything, but I think that the gameplay, like the other team gameplay, like went through their methods. I think this is what's happening.
Right. Um. I don't know because I mean you got a good point here. Their gameplay style, their play style is a bit obsolete.
I don't think it is actually
Oh, that you
because
don't think it's
it's
absolute?
no, I don't think it is. You play for points early game and you map control.
Right, right. Okay, but like, let's hear more opinions. Well, I mean, Gaseo Jones, what do you think?
Mm, Well, I don't think they are good at defending, to be honest.
Oh,
Like, I think it's the opposite. I think they are good at rushing. Like as you saw yesterday against us, they like all the games they won was because they rushed into us because we exposed the tank. For
mm,
example, Rameo make the mistake on picking on Desert Suns.
that's a
Well,
sense.
and he made like all APA push into him.
Ah.
But yeah,
Oh
like
yeah,
for example,
I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't
he
think it
wasn't meant to
was.
pick. Yeah, he
Yeah, I
wasn't meant to pick.
mean, but I mean, if you were talking about that much, I think it wasn't really the. I think it wasn't really the problem of Rabeo Jones, to be honest with you, because like that push would come eventually, and even if he
Yeah,
feel,
but I mean, it was below the bridge. Like they wanted to
yeah,
go to A, not to inside.
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like when you push into them, you if you have a good focus fire, you yeah smell them. Like for the spare, for example,
Oh
we
yeah,
set up a good push and it was easy.
yeah,
Like they don't take really good spots. Like they could improve a lot in the spots, the
mm,
positions they take. Maybe that's their weakness. Like they do good the early part of capping and having the control,
yeah,
but then they don't take the best positions they could. They just stick together, like in B, for example, at for the spur,
mm.
and also not having DPM setups. It's kinda bad in my opinion.
Okay, I see,
Like
I
full
see.
IS force and two mouse, it's not really good. I think.
Mm. The deal for you, what do you think about APA?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of neutral with every team up to this point because, I mean, let's be honest, they had to play hard to get to the top eight. So the top eight are there for a reason.
Mm,
Are some teams better than others? I think we're starting to see that.
mm,
But then again, the gameplay. I mean, they had some unexpected wins yesterday, so you can't say that teams are better than others. I mean,
mm.
ultimately, like I said, it's gonna boil down to what happens over the next couple days, and once the top four gets cemented, then you can kind of analyze it and break down the weaknesses of each team. But until that happens, it's really anybody's ball game still. I mean, I hate to say it,
I think so. I do think so, but
I mean, their
yeah.
gameplay is it's you know I don't know. I guess maybe they always haven't had the strongest strats. They haven't had the best focus fire and brawls, but somehow they've been brawling enough to get to the position that they're in, and they're a team that is capable of winning matches. So you can't take them lightly, unfortunately.
No, you can't. I mean, very good point. You can't underestimate APA. I guess you mentioned a really good point that I kind of overlooked a lot. APA's rushes. Sometimes they can be quite unpredictable, and I haven't actually rewatched footage stream of APA versus Win. If they are exactly doing that thing against Win by just making some unpredictable pushes into the Wind's forces, and I think that could be the reason why APA are winning some of the games. And you saw with Immortals, that's a sense win. That is what they did against Romeo Jones and APA unpredictability. If they could kind of like work on that and become even more unpredictable, because kind of a lot of our criticisms on APA like before was that they are somewhat too predictable, and they are kind of showing that is going not going to be the case. But if they could become even more unpredictable, APA could be a surprise package. Um, I I feel like their hopes in top four would be. It's going to be hard for them to get into top four, but I don't think it's impossible. It's but they kind of have to kind of kind of have to hope that results are going in their favor. To be honest with you.
I think, to be honest, I think it's kind of over. Because they faced many good teams already, but they haven't faced Legion yet. I think, did they?
Legion. Have they faced Legion? So far AP has faced Loca, Win, Immortals, and Souls. They haven't faced. Yeah, Legion is one of
No,
them.
neither
Raid.
EG nor Legion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
this is going to
yes,
be a tough one. They need, if they want to make sure they're qualified, they need to win all three matches in order to have 4 points. But
that's really true. Raid, Endgame, and Legion are the clans they haven't played so far. So AP with only 1 point. Yeah, I think they are in trouble. They kind of have to kind of make some surprises, unfortunately, here. Agent Lion, what do you think about APA?
I don't think they're gonna make it to top four because Raid, Endgame, and Legion are like really tough teams, especially if you have to win all of them. Yeah, that's basically it.
Right. That's good. Let's actually move on to Endgame. Let's actually play the Endgames trailer that I didn't have any chance to play because every got all the Endgames games. This is the trailer I
Oh, it's an ammo rack! And look at that, they trapped the heavies in the middle here.
So let's get the other side, not Boone. Not cats. There we go. This is a Russian. I think I remember some of the names have been changed. For example, Chocolat became like Icacophonous, if I remember correctly. And then there is another one that's changed as well. Endgame. Currently with 2 points, tied with Raid at the 4th place. This is actually the games I've watched. Like every stream I've watched all of them. To be honest with you, it's hard to pinpoint what problem they're having right now. Like the 2 points doesn't really tell the full picture here because because the gameplay they've shown and all the losses they have done so far, they have been really close. It could be their game if they have done some of the minor corrections. I don't want to be picky here, but I think what they have been doing really well so far would be, I mean, the personal skills is always really good. They have been exuberant with excellent with focus fire will be like not really at the very top, but then they are able to kind of pick out the weaknesses of the enemies. I think that's what they are very good at. Yeah, this is why they won a lot of the games. Sometimes they go really aggressive because they discovered a slight weakness on the enemy team. Uh, so I believe Endgame need to work more on that. But I think the problem, what I saw, which I can't really spot the common problem with Endgame because like all of the losses have been really close and really sometimes not really the fault of Endgame. But slightly a common mistake I might be spotting here would be sometimes they could be a little bit too disconnected between one another. The tanks, they sometimes I feel like they got this the tanks got isolated relatively easily, and that's what a lot of the opponents have have broken endgame down in that respect. So I can't really pinpoint that problem, but I do think their top four hopes. I think they would get into top four. I don't see why they won't, to be honest with you. Although they have like 2 points, but I think it doesn't really speak the full picture here. But what do you guys think about Endgame?
hello.
Which teams does Endgame have to fight now?
Okay, Endgames. They're going to be facing Legion, APA and then win mixed. I think they also have a relatively difficult run of games, but we will see.
I was gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You start.
Who's now? Okay. Oh, welcome back, Spitfires. Let's go with
Yeah.
Agent Line first.
Okay, I honestly think that they're gonna make it to top 4 because like they're a really strong team and
Yeah.
they don't have like I think that Win and APA they should be able to make those two.
Yeah.
And for Legionary, it's gonna be a tough fight, but like if they're gonna be able to win APA and win, they should be in top 4.
Yeah.
I think that they're gonna make it.
Hello, Jesus. If you want to join in the chat, go into the Ono chat. I would love you. Yeah, I would really love to have you here. Or Da Silva. Yeah, Da Silva. If you could join, that would be really good. I also missed a very an important point about Endgame. Is that I've discovered that they bounce a lot more shells than before, and that could be a problem. I don't know, but I could see them missing or bouncing some crucial shells that could have won them the game if they don't, but we'll see. It could be the nerfs, however. Spitfires, what do you think?
About EG.
Yeah.
To be honest, their team comp is made out of some of the best players of EU, like individually speaking and clan war experience speaking. So like I don't see why they wouldn't make it to top 4. I don't know what happened to them for this early top 8 for these early top 8 matches.
Okay, they lost 2 games in the first 4 games. They lost
Yeah.
to Immortals and they lost to
To
Loca.
us like yesterday, yeah.
Yes.
And
So
I don't have an idea why. Like I feel like they are not performing as they should, considering their team is like probably one of the best right
yeah,
now.
yeah. The best. I would question that, to be honest. I don't
One
think
of
they're
the
the
best.
best. I don't think they're
No,
not
no,
the
not
best.
the.
I'm going to kind of state that reason later on why I don't
He,
think
he
they're the
didn't
best.
say that.
I say they are one of the best, not
Oh, the
not
best.
the best.
Okay. All right, all right. Fair point, fair point. Good. Hello, Da Silva. How are you doing? I know you're here. Stop sleeping. Okay, hello, Caseo Jones. What do you think about Engel?
Oh, well, I really think they are a good unit. As I said,
Yeah.
like the last forum you made, I said they were for me like finalists, like very
Yeah.
good team. But I don't know, like they struggled a lot against us.
Mm.
I think maybe they weren't too confident or not. I don't know.
That's a
But
good talking point. I'm going to go into that later because I have a lot of comments about Endgame versus Immortal. That game, that fixture, I have a lot of kind of
yeah.
not really discoveries, but a lot of thoughts about that. To be honest with you, but
I mean, for sure they are a good team, and I don't know. They deserve top 4, 100%.
mhm,
But yeah, let's see what like they have. In my opinion, they have a good way. Like win and APA should be easy for them
mhm,
since they are a good team. And let's see if they can give a good fight against Legion. Would be really great to see. Like they are one of the best teams both,
yeah,
and for sure it's a good show.
true. The Silver, you're unmuted, so I'm going to pass the ball to you.
What happens?
Yeah,
Hello.
what do you think about Endgame and their hopes in top 4?
Man, for me, it's a shame if they don't win the Twister Cup with this lineup, man.
I agree.
They have basically the best players, man. If
Mm.
we see they have like Karolek, Shock, Last Winch, or Kamen. I know it's possible to play so badly at the moment.
I
At
don't
the
think
moment,
they
for me,
play
they don't show
badly.
they deserve the top 4 at the moment, but I think they will do.
Yeah. I think they will be top 4, but yeah, I don't think they are playing badly at all. Like I said, the losses they have, I think they are pretty close, and if they have done something
But
differently,
for me, they don't play like they played,
mm,
for example, the last ascent, man. If they play like the last Ascent, no one can beat them, I think.
No one can beat them. Okay, I kind of take that with kind of grain of salt, but yeah, I agree. They have the best roster in the server, and it will be a big shame if they don't make it to the top four because I don't see how they can't make it with that roster. That looks to be one of the best roster in the EU server. But the deal for you, what do you think about Endgame?
Well, they should be one of the strongest teams. They should submit the top four, but their gameplay lately, I don't know if almost seems like they're playing like they're nervous, if that makes any sense.
It could be the nerves. It could be the nerves because we are seeing a lot more bounces and misses from Endgame actually in the BlizzCon preliminary. So that could be a reason.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see what'll happen with them.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, they have a lot of expectations as well. I mean, everyone is putting Endgame as front runner in the U server, and but then they have a lot of experience, so I don't really get why they would be nervous because, like I said, during spring season they were second place. Last Twister they were the first place of the EU server, so I mean, they have a lot of experience, and technically, they shouldn't be the one who should be the nervous team. It should be the others. But we will see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Uh,
so what do you want to add?
I don't know. I would just um I guess maybe they need to probably work on their strats a little bit as far as being like unpredictable. Um, I think that we kind of saw that in the past that they didn't really do the same thing every time, or at least they didn't handle every team. Like they seem to be. I think people give them a higher kind of rank or position in the top eight. Because they seem to adapt gameplay differently to different teams. And I
Yeah.
think that was a little bit of, that was some of their success in the past. So
Mhm.
whether they can continue that or not, that's kind of the question here.
Yeah. Besides, I mean, some of the losses that I kind of could recall now, that they can be a little bit too overambitious. They could go too aggressively and then lost a lot of HP, and that put them sometimes in some horrible situations. So I'm not sure if the next three fixtures they're going to kind of be a little bit more passive, but that could hurt them. That could hurt them if they're not careful enough. But we will see.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if they don't make the top four, but
Yeah, I'll
I
be
mean,
shocked. But
again, it's a possibility.
it is a possibility. They need to be careful of sleepwalking to out of top four. That could happen. Uh, so let's move on to Immortals. Let's get the trailer. Where are you? Immortals.
That's not Amarak!
Right, let's go to Immortals. Not Feasts. Not GV. Not HLV. Here we go. Immortals. I think they are very. I think they are a big surprise package. Because they have shown us some really exciting stuff and some um, extremely competent gameplays. I would say I have a lot of thoughts about Endgame 2-4 against Immortals, and it wasn't because Endgame are playing badly. It was because Immortals actually deserve to win those four games. To be honest with you, And then you have Immortals 4-3 against APA, where I think the Fort Despair is one of the best games I've ever streamed so far here. Kind of the big exciting part about Immortals is their rotation. I think they have been doing really well with rotation, but sometimes they can sometimes they can get it really well, and sometimes they couldn't get it all right. The reason why they could do really well with rotations is that they work really well as units. Like they have a good teamwork. They coordinate with one another really well. But the reason why I would say they could fail sometimes because sometimes their idea of that rotation would not be the best, and sometimes they could get shut down by the defensive tanks on the other team. So what I would say why they so what I could kind of conclude with them being having some really good rotations that they're good with the communication part of the rotation, and they probably need to kind of work more on the idea of the rotation. They have some extremely brilliant ideas, and those ideas won them the games in the end. Defensively, also alright. I mean, you saw what happened on Yukon against APA, although it was quite a scare in the end, but they still won against APA with some good defensive performances there. Top four, I think they are. I think they could have a shot on that. I think it's very possible. Could be the dark horse here. If they can further improve, I do think Immortals. Top four hopes. I think it's up and alive. Oh, Agent Lion says you gotta leave, but then I'm going to. Oh, you left. Right, so that's what I think about Immortals. They I think they impressed me the most, to be honest with you. And tomorrow I will be streaming their game, so long may that continue. We'll see about that. But so far I think they have shown some extremely exciting stuff. Yeah, top four I think possible. I think it's possible. What do you guys think about Immortals?
Really good team.
Of course, you're in that team. So, so I maybe I'll ask Spitfires first because you're Loca, so you might have.
Yeah, I can be neutral at this point. No, actually, I think they're worth the top four because they won EG and they have the same score as them. So like if they keep the score as high as EG's score, they will most likely win and like enter the top four. If it comes to a tiebreak, they won most games. They won against EG, so they will enter top four, and EG will remain top five. If that's just a possibility, but I think they're worth the top four. The rotations are quick and adapted to the situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're tough opponents, man. They're tough
Yeah.
opponents. They're worth the top four.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think they are a good contender for top four. The remaining games for Immortals will be Loca, Souls, and also Raid. So I think they will be hard to crack. If they won one of the big four here, I believe they will be very sure of top four here.
If they actually score against Raid, if they win against them, they're sure 100% to be qualified because they won against both EG and Raid, which are tied to them.
Yeah.
And the remaining opponents are below them. So
Well, but-
basically, they are ensured if they win Raid to exit top four.
Yeah, unless win one of all of their games, but that could be a different story. But
Yeah.
So, hello, Fujit. Yes.
Good evening.
Oh yes.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, you're so loud.
Oh,
Oh, God, let me tune you down. Oh my God.
you turn me down, man.
Yeah, you're so loud suddenly. Well, we are on to Immortals now. I mean, we are predicting whether Immortals will be top four, and I was saying their rotations have been brilliant so far, and with that kind of performance, I believe if they keep that up, I think they could be top four.
Yeah, they had a slight blip yesterday against Win, but other than that, they've been incredibly impressive this tour so far.
Yeah. Have you changed it to a different mic? Because you're much louder than before.
I haven't changed my mic at all. I haven't changed anything.
Well, it's so strange. I don't know. Maybe you're
Not a
more.
thing.
Yeah. What do you think the deal for real about Immortals?
Oh man, this is hard with Gaseo in the house.
Don't worry.
Uh,
I mean, Gaseo won't kind of like shut you down with his insults. So.
um, they got a hard road ahead of them to make the top four. I mean, let's be honest. There's some much stronger teams. I mean, but like I said, I don't want to discount them as far as, everybody in the top eight. They played hard. They have skill. They do have a shot to make the top four, but I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of it's just going to boil down to luck, man. I don't think they're
Luck.
going to be. I don't think they're going to be lucky enough to make the top four, unfortunately.
I don't know, but yeah. Well, what I would say to Immortals would be that I mean, the rotations have been really good for them, but just as I said, the idea they are also quite. I mean, with this kind of team, they're also pretty new, working as a unit. But then some players have been really experienced in Clan Wars, but some of them not really in the top playing those
Well,
very big
I,
stages.
I
But
think possibly they just need to be a little bit more patient in brawls. What I mean by that is
no, I think
they
they've
need
been
to.
pretty patient so far. I don't see any
Well,
like
they
or maybe Gaseo Jones I think is like maybe that could be one of them. But then I don't think they have made some impatient moves so far.
no,
I
I'm not
think we
talking
did.
about impatient moves. I'm talking about brawls. Like, so I haven't watched a lot of their matches. Like, I haven't paid a ton of attention to them. But what I seem to remember is when they're brawling, their focus fire is not as concentrated as it could be, and they seem to like either bounce or miss a lot of shots. And I think that's maybe like a breakdown in like the possible like calling or some kind of confusion with. I guess what I'm saying is when they're brawling, it seems like they're in panic mode, and it works
Okay.
against them.
I see.
They don't look real strong in brawls, unfortunately.
Hello.
So I think maybe that
Can I-
would
can
be
I-
an area to tighten up a little bit.
Okay.
Can I just say one thing?
Right. Go
Don't
ahead.
underestimate Immor. And I'm not saying that because there are some guys here from Immor. The way they played against EG was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
And that was an upset for EG, and that was spectacular. And if you can turn around a team like EG, then there's no problem when you're going to go up against the clear favourites at the moment, Loca or Raid.
Yeah.
They had a blip yesterday against Win. Yes, they did. But Win had the bit between their teeth. They came out of what was until the decider a pretty even Stevens game against Loca, and then Loca destroyed them in that decider. And Win obviously went away and really jammed their heads together.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and have a look at the matches yesterday, then they were destroyed in that decider, poor old Win. And really well played to Loca. And then they took that into the next round against Immor. And, you know, they lost the first two, and then they came back. And this is the thing about Win. They're unpredictable. But when you then go back to the start of the series, who would have, seriously, hands on heart, except the guys from Immor, hands on heart, who would have turned around and said Immor would have turned over EG?
No, I don't think so.
And they did.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, don't underestimate them. Really don't. Because you do that at your peril. Immor have a chance to do this. And, you know, they've been really good so far. And I'm not just saying that because Gaseo, etc. is here. They really do have a chance.
Yeah.
And I've said it previously. I was upset to an extent because I like Immor, and I was upset with their performance in the spring season. And boy, this is a different team. This is the Immor we all know and love. Come back, and they've got it. If they can focus again and just put Win behind them, seriously, they can go a long way.
Yeah.
They really can.
Yeah. Hello to David and hello to yeah, I think it's Chopham here. I mean, if you want to join in the Ono chat, then do please do that. What do I want to add about that? Immortals.
Well, I got a question
Yeah.
since Gaseo's in the house.
Yeah.
He'll probably choose not to answer it, but I want to know if they'll get a little crazy maybe and do something like, adopt these Asian strats and bring like 4 mouses and stuff.
No, wait. So's did 4 bosses.
Loca, if I remember rightly, Spitfires, you can tell me, they did 5 T-22s yesterday.
Yeah.
What
On
was
Desert
the
Sands.
question? Sorry.
Wait. Can you repeat?
Are you guys gonna get a little bit more crazy with your lineups, your tank selections?
I mean,
no,
to be honest, it's to Loca or to me?
Both. I guess CEO. I think mainly to get
I got Loca in because they used 5 T-22s yesterday, I believe.
it
on
was
Desert
it was
Sands.
against CG. I didn't play that one. I didn't play any of the matches against CG.
All right.
Okay.
Kaseo, go ahead with that.
Well, if I'm honest to you, we wanted to bring one Death Star against Endgame on the decider,
Yes.
but it was too risky, and I didn't want to.
Yes,
Because,
yes,
I mean, we were 3-2 winning, and I wasn't going to risk it that much. But yeah, we were
Well-
planning to play Death Star. We even trained that. And it
How
worked out.
disrespectful! How disrespectful is that? Like,
No, it's not. Like, we had a good Death Star player, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that reminds me of a quote by Wayne Gretzky.
we
You miss
tried
one.
that Star versus Win in training on V2.
Yeah, and it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, again, now's the time because every point counts. Number one, number two, you're only going to get so many shots, and the quote by Wayne Gretzky is, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Right. So
Let's put it a different way. Now Gaseo's in here, and De Silva's here as well. Who worries you most going into the final 3 battles out of the opponents that you've got left?
No, sorry, what?
Who worries you most? Who do you think is your biggest opponent? I mean, out of the 3 going into the final battles that you've got.
Like the ones, okay, like the ones that are left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, I think.
Legion and also
Yeah.
and
No,
Souls.
Loca, Raid, and Souls. I think both Loca and Raid, like they are really good teams, and we really need to win at least 2 matches. We need to win Souls and APA or Loca. I mean Loca or Raid. Sorry.
Red.
Yeah, Raid. So we actually, but yeah, like it will be really difficult. They are very good teams, but I think
Yeah, of
Loca
course.
it's the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Loca's on fire at the moment. Let's be honest.
Because of that, basically.
We'll come to that very soon. So the Silva, do you have anything to add? Yeah, I hear you
For
want
me,
to say
the-
something, but then you were like,
For me, the most important game will be versus Red. I think.
Raid. You think it's Raid? Okay.
The last game, yes.
The last game. Sadly, I won't be streaming that. I'm streaming the least exciting game for the last day.
No, you haven't. You got Loca and Souls.
Luca and Souls, yeah, but I think at that point, I think it will be the least exciting game at the last day. So personally, I think.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Maybe. I mean, maybe Souls is going to do really well tomorrow, and then Souls might be looking for top 4. You never know.
Well, it's not over until it's over. Let's say it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Heavelum says maybe no. Heavelum, join the Ono chat if you want. I love to hear your opinions. So, yeah, the last thing I want to add for Immortals, hello Stinge, will be Immortals, because they're pretty new to this. I could see sometimes their nerves here, that could affect their decision making in the rotation as well. And if they could calm down, of course, Isaiah Jones is kind of tasked mainly in thinking about the rotation. So So my advice really to kind of like calm down because Immortals have proven before that they could win matches with a really solid rotation. So I do think it's what they also need to do would be the psychology as well. No.
I think we're looking for. I think we're set for some fantastic and exciting games going into these last three rounds.
Yeah.
And I think, at the end of the day, it's within all the teams' grasp. To be fair.
Yes. Oh, wait. Why do I have HLV here?
Good question.
There we go. Let's move on to the next one. Sorry, Stinch. Is it Legion next in the alphabetic order? Yeah, alphabetical order. We have Legion next. Let's play that trailer first. Where are you? I'm so bummed when I'm not. Legion is actually the team rushing in here. Africa North maybe get shut down early on.
Won't you tell me now?
Ooh, that was an Amarak.
Oh, bless, I streamed that Naval Frontier game.
Yes, this is not the right roster. Legion, there we go. This is Legion for you. Let me start off with Legion. Legion currently 3 points. I haven't seen any of the Mnet stream yet, so I can't kind of say much about what Legion has been doing really well or not. I kind of like skimmed one of the games, which is the game they lost against Raid on New Bay. It's apparently Raid's kind of favorite map, actually, so can't say much about Legion, but sometimes they could be caught a little bit too impatient for that game, or if not for the entire season. So maybe that could be sometimes the aggression can be somewhat calculated, but what they've been doing really well from the previous skill tournaments is actually their decision making have been really brilliant, and the kind of teamwork they've shown to us. They have been one of the most well communicated teams I've ever seen and streamed so far. So Legion, I don't think they would sleepwalk out of top four. I think they will be in top four. They just hope that they just need to hope that they have really good communication and also ideas in every game. And looking at the next few games they're going to be having Endgame, and then it will be Loca and also APA. It will be a really hard schedule ahead, but they've already have 3 points, so they can allow some kind of flip, but then they still need to do really well to prove they are top 4 worthy. But I think they will be top 4.
Yeah, I mean, their big test comes tomorrow. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, Endgame, okay, Legion will feel, to be honest with you, they'll feel confident about Endgame, but it's Loca they need to win. They need to beat Loca.
Yes.
And that's match 6. And that is, don't take this the wrong way, anybody, but that to me is like a final. That's the win-lose, realistically.
Yes.
I slightly disagree with that. I mean, I do agree, but what I'm saying is I honestly don't think that they're sweating Loca at all right now.
I don't know. I mean, they've got two tough matches tomorrow.
Because what I've seen from Legion's gameplay is that when they don't go in really serious, like when they're there to almost have fun, so to speak, when they're playing at like about, I would say, on like an 80% level on a 100% scale, that's when they're most dangerous. And that's what they've done, it seems like, since the Prove Your Skills. I don't know if they've had some meetings or what's going on, but it seems like they're gaining their team structure, okay? And that means that they're playing stronger together. And so when they don't take the matches as seriously, they go in there to have fun and they have like a positive mindset. They are so dominant. Nobody can touch them. And I mean, they've almost been undefeated so far.
That's the word there, almost. Whereas, and this is the
they
thing.
They had one slight hiccup, and I mean, you know, no other team comes close to that right now.
They do. Loca, they haven't had a hiccup at all. And that's my point.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, Loca's gone through so far. They have beat Endgame and they have beat Raid.
Yeah. Win as well.
Well,
We're talking about the big top fours here. I mean, no disrespect to Win because I love Win, but they went out against Raid and they turned them over, and then they've gone out against Endgame and they've turned them over.
Yeah.
Okay, they are unbeaten at this moment. I mean, 4 games in, 3 games left. Loca are unbeaten. It would be remiss of Legion not to worry about Loca.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Legion have the capability and the competence and the skill set to beat almost any team on the day. But you're looking at a team that is oozing with confidence in Loca.
I guess what I'm saying from a psychological aspect, do you look at it the opposite way though? Do you think Loca is going to be too nervous about this match?
No, because Loca at the moment, I think, have been unbelievably strong. And they have shown such maturity in the first 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, which Spitfires, forgive me, but I keep saying this, it's time Loca stepped up. They've always been a really good team, and it's time for them to step up. And you know what? For the first 4 games we've seen, guys, we've seen that step up. And boy, they're going to go into the next 3 games. Well, they're going to go into tomorrow brimming with confidence at the moment. And you can't underestimate that.
Yeah.
The confidence they're going to have. They are unbeaten. And they played 2 of the best top 4 teams, Endgame and Raid.
Right. Okay. I agree there. Legion. Tomorrow will be a very big test for them.
I think it will. I think it'll be a big test for Legion tomorrow.
Yes.
And we will see. We will see Legion's mantle. And I think they're going to go into match 5 against Endgame with confidence. Endgame have been struggling a little bit so far. Not much, but a little bit. But it'll be match 6. That's the true test. That is the true test. And it's who on the day wants it more. Is it going to be Legion or is it going to be Loca? And you know what? If I was a betting man, I wouldn't know where to put my money on that game.
Oh dear, Thomas Peterson. Because let me talk about Thomas Peterson, because Thomas Peterson is predicting Legion will win 4-3 against Endgame and then losing Loca 3-4.
Well, there you go. Look, this is what I'm thinking. But if I was a betting man, I really couldn't call Loca against Legion because that is going to be 2 teams at their best fighting it out tomorrow, and that is going to be so an exciting game. It really is.
I agree, but I slightly disagree in the fact that I think we're giving Loca a little bit too much credit at this current state. Listen. Oh no, because they were so unpredictable in the Prove Your Skills tournament that all because they're on a little positive upswing right now. I don't have full confidence saying that's their state. I really don't, because they've been proven to be a bit unreliable in the past, and I'm going with that. I think that it's just a momentary high, and I think that when they meet a competitor like Legion right now, that is they're equal or possibly stronger, the unpredictability is just going to work against them. I hate to play devil's advocate, but that's just what
I understand where you're coming from.
If I can say something before going to a fun call quickly.
Spitfires, great.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I wouldn't bet my money either on our match against Legion tomorrow because they're tough. They're really tough, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't predict the outcome because first of all, karma, and secondly, they perform way better than us all along the Pro Your Skills tournaments. So
yeah. I mean, let's go.
I wouldn't bet my money on that.
Yeah, but let's go to Legion for now before you.
Be right back.
What do you think about Legion and the top 4 hub Spitfire? Oh, bye. The silver. Let's go to the silver. What do you think about Legion and the top 4 hubs here?
Firstly, I call the team of 6 colors because they have many colors like Object,
Yeah.
Thomas, Oopsie, Dakuda,
Mhm.
Zerd, and NG.
Mhm.
They aren't like very skilled player like endgame, but they have too many experience.
Too many experience. Oh, okay, this is an interesting point here. What would be my too many experience in this context?
They play. They play. Maybe 4 or 5 guys played for since the start of the Clan War, like
Mhm.
Whoopsie, Zerd, and G. I
Mhm.
think Jesse too. Dakuda, Saradekozo.
Yes.
They started the Clan War on the start, not like the others. Not like me, for example.
Yeah, they have got a lot of experience in their team. That is very true.
Yeah, but you said too many experience. So are you saying that that could be the problem of a legion?
No,
No. Okay.
because
They
they have
Okay. So
uh,
it's.
they understand how they can react if they get pushed, who
I
to
see.
push,
I see.
you know.
Yeah, I get your point here. Experience. I think the part of the experience comes to play. It's sometimes shown on the stream as well. Which if I had more time, if there are like 30 hours in the day, I definitely would have more time in looking at Eminet stream. Then I could talk more about Legion. But unfortunately,
I mean,
it's a lot of
from
time.
my side, I don't think Legion are going to. And again, I'm not being trying to be disrespectful to anybody. I don't think Legion are going to be too worried about match 7 against APA. To be fair, I think Legion will feel confident in that match. Their big test is tomorrow. That's not to say Legion, for me, is a solid top 4 team. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
they're a solid top 4, and I'm not saying anything other than that. But what I'm saying is they've got a test tomorrow. They've got 2 tough matches.
Yeah. And
Endgame and Loca, very tough matches.
I
That's
believe.
not to
Yeah,
say that they'll falter, but they're just tough games, guys.
Yeah.
And Endgame and Loca, at the moment, I mean, Endgame need to up their game, and they are a really good team. And you may see tomorrow they bring out, they do the spinal tap, knock it up to the 11 key to really bring out their gameplay. Loca are riding high, so you just cannot predict what they're going to do. It's going to be a tough match tomorrow for Legion.
True.
Really tough.
Casino Joes, what do you think about Legion?
Well, about Legion, I really agree on the thing that Bobby said. They have a really ton of experience. For example, Whoopsie won the last 3 finals. He won Spring
like
2020.
last from
Yeah, like last together. They were together in the 3 last teams that won. That are Legion, Endgame, and Eros, I think. Like that's a really ton of experience. Just by that, like it's 3 finals that you won. That's the most experience you can get out of a top 8 for sure. And yeah, like they played together, some of them at spring season, like the half of the team or even more. So that's also something to count with. They know each other really good, and they have maybe more synergy than other teams, like for example Immor, that are barely new.
Yeah.
And as I said last forum, I'm expecting them to be finalists with maybe Endgame or Loca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoopsie is like Zidane, not Klopp. If that's a good analogy for the finals.
Whoopsie basically the best Conrad player with Winch on Fox Arena. For me, the top 2.
I mean,
Whoops is brilliant. I mean, every single one of those players there in the Legion team, as De Silva said earlier. I mean, you've got Zerd. I mean, Zerd's got so much experience.
Yes.
You've got Whoopsie. You've got Engi.
Thomas.
Thomas is there as well. Yes. And then you've got individually fantastic players. I mean, Object 3, Juicy, Radicoso, and Dakidas. I mean, they're all great players, and they are a great team. But and I'm not distracting from that. I'm just saying tomorrow they've got a tough matchup. That's it.
Yes. Stinch, what do you think?
Yeah. What do I think about what? About Legion?
Yeah, yeah. What do you think
Correct.
about Legion? Of course.
I mean, they have a lot of like really good players, and I mean, if you watch Juicy streams sometimes, like with the voice,
Hmm.
you see they are constantly giving information at each other, and I know other top teams will do this as well. But like really, they say literally everything that, and they know how to filter it for themselves what they need to give the caller. In my opinion,
Yeah.
they know what they have to tell the team and what is unnecessary for the caller or other players. If you need like HP sharing or something, they will
Yeah.
know when to say what.
I don't think they ever like blamed anything like RNG or missing shells or bounced shells. I believe they don't do that because that actually occupies a lot of space in the chat. Is it the case? I didn't watch a lot of Juicy streams, but I
Sometimes you hear Juicy when he gets like RNG that he says like what the fuck.
yeah.
Something like that, but like he doesn't like fill up the chat with
Yeah,
just
you know, like
personal
that's like speak like XYZ question $sign hashtag something like that or about missed shots and something like that. They keep the chat clean. Their chat
yeah,
is clean.
they really keep their chat like
Yeah,
to
and
the game.
Well, that's kind of their breakdown though too. At the same point is because of all the strong players or callers or however you want to equate it, um, their chat, their gameplay does tend to break down when the chat gets over cluttered. As far as they get the calls confused sometimes because of the constant information.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, could be the reason. But I think one thing I think you also might notice in Juicy streams, and particularly the particular battles I've streamed on my end, I've requested Juicy to give me permission to stream to analyze Legion versus Win that game. What I find interesting about calling focus fire, a lot of the clans that are building at the moment, they usually like to call the tank name and then the hit point pool. But then Legion, they don't do that. They call the tank the name of that player, and that's what
That's also
that's
correct.
what I always want to do it in my team as well, because the player names usually if it's not like Isa with like Midix, Madix, Modox, something like that, they're unique. It's hard to confuse like IS4 then the other IS4, so for example, like, and then the hit points can like change very quickly in a matter of seconds. So that's kind of what I think Legion has done really well as well, the communication and the chat effectiveness. And that ties into the Loca's point very soon. But hello, Spitfires again. What do you think about Legion?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. What do you think about Legion?
I mean, the roster is really good, but I'm kind of surprised because at first I wasn't hopeful for them because like they have this Zerd Whoopsie Thomas combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three
Seven
strators and
colors.
colors, and some of them like did not agree with each other every time. I was kind of worried for at this point, but seems like it all went back on track, if we can say that. And now they have a really good roster. They have really good players, really good team play. They're compact and they're like overall they're really good. They're a really good team
Yes.
in both defense and offensive.
Yeah. I mean, Thomas and also said reconcile with one another, so it's good to hear. Good to see. I mean, I believe they've shook hands virtually behind the scenes. So.
Actually, no, it wasn't about Thomas and Zerd, but
Of
more
course,
like
yeah.
Zerd and Whoopsie that most of the time I think, from what I heard, did not agree with each other and did not like each other neither.
Oh.
So this is what I was worried about, but seems like everything is good now.
Speed,
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah. So.
Well,
Imagine Win joining Legion, man. With Nico.
oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, it's kind of an emotional comeback for a lot of players of a Legion here. Angie, Thomas, I believe it's. Well, we haven't seen like Benny or Gandalf or something like someone else like that. But I would be really happy to see them back, to be honest. As well. Yeah, Juicy's a really good player, I agree. Let's actually move on to Loca. We've spent a lot of time on Legion, and let's look at their trailer here. I really love that. Daniel loves that trailer.
I do enjoy the trailer. I think it's one of my favorites.
Enjoyed it.
Release the savage.
There we go, Loca. Let me start first. Loca, I'm very impressed as well for Loca. Particularly the micro part of tournaments. The micro part. What I mean by micro part is not strategies. It's not really the kind of the macro rotation stuff like that. It's kind of the very little details they've done really well. Particularly Loca versus APA, I believe it was the last match of that on what's that, Port Bay, where I got my camera onto the E5s. Horizontal straight line, they've done really well. They're like kind of very close to one another, and that means they could hit point push there really well. And when someone is very low, they pull you back and got someone in front. That's why I've seen a lot for Loca. They've done that really well. Second very good micro parts done by Loca would be what I always call a fish cycle. I didn't call it fish on the stream for Loca versus Raid, but on Rock Field, if you remember correctly, Raid tried to make a very aggressive move over to C from the south side, Loca on the north side. Loca, they had an idea to kind of push on the right side of C, and they discovered Money Dude and shared him away a lot of hit points. After that, the E5s got respawned by the Raid forces. The Raid counter pushed them in the air a little bit, but those E5s held their ground. Meanwhile, on the other side, this is what I always call a fish cycle comes in. Because those E5s cannot push anywhere further, the other two tanks, they kind of come in and try to surround those Raids forces and held them into pocket, and in the end Loca dominated that game, and that was very impressive match, I must say. So Loca with that, I think that was the main reason why Loca has been so well, because of those micro details. They have improved a lot, and it's something that I haven't seen a lot in other teams so far, but Loca have managed to kind of up their game with these kind of micro details. And if they continue to do that in the Blitz Cup in November, they could be a really big, strong contender for the champions.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I just want to put out that this is not the same Loca that we saw in the Prove Your Skill tournaments. I was just like, they've knocked it up a notch. Don't know how they've done it, but they've done it. And I haven't streamed Loca much apart from the match with Win yesterday. It was swings and roundabouts for the first 4 games, but their total destruction of Win on Fort Despair was just cynical, surgical, and it was unbelievable. No, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, Win had been neck and neck with Loca all the way through, and Loca made them look like a 40% win rate team on Fort Despair. Seriously, and it's little things like that you sort of sit there and say, "Wow, this is different." And which is why, at the moment, I think Loca are riding high, and there is nothing other than themselves who will take that away from them at the moment.
No.
Personally.
I don't think so. personally, yeah, the macro details they done really well. Maybe the macro stuff might be the thing they might be need to be wary about, but I'm very surprised with the micro details. Macro details, maybe the macro details might be the downfall in the end, but we'll see for tomorrow.
Absolutely, this is what I'm saying. I mean, at the moment, from what I'm seeing, the only people who are gonna beat Loca are Loca. So seriously, I mean, they can defeat themselves, but there's no reason why tomorrow they can't go out against Immor. They've got Immor first, then they've got Legion next. There's no way they can't go out and just carry on playing what they've been playing and turn everybody over and come out of this tournament undefeated. And the only team that's going to the only people who are going to dent Loca realistically at this moment in time is Loca.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I agree with your point. Da Silva, what do you think?
For me, Speed is the shit player.
Thank you, come on. Realistically speaking, I'm probably the worst player of the top 8. I'm probably the worst one. Stat wise, I mean.
For me,
For you,
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm a bit surprised what they are doing in the top 8 after what they did during the ascent. Now they are very strong. At the moment, maybe the best team of the top 8. And yeah,
I mean,
they're qualified, I think, at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, with 4 points right now, you can't go any wrong.
If they lose versus Legend, it's not a problem, anyways.
Yeah, if they lost
They
two of
beat
their
they beat Endgame.
Yeah. I mean, if they lost two of their next matches, they might need to worry a bit, but I think I still think they will be in trouble.
Actually, we won 4 matches already, which means we won against more than 50% of the top 8 teams.
Yeah.
We faced, so basically we're qualified, technically speaking. We had 4 wins.
Yes, unless you lost all 3 and then what Immortals won 2.
I think even with that we're qualified, because each team has 7 matches. If there can only be 4 teams that win 4 points.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Could it be that?
And maybe that's why Legion have more chance to beat Loca, because they are already qualified. I think.
Yeah, there is that to play with. That's a good point there, De Silva. It is because don't misunderstand, guys. There's a lot at stake here for these teams to get into the winning circle, so to speak. It really is. And as it goes through the tournament, okay, Loca's probably already qualified, but it's not certain that Legion has. It's not certain that Endgame has. It's not certain that anybody else has.
Yeah.
So we're going to see some really exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff.
Yes.
But for me, I mean, Loca can easily, let's say they haven't qualified, even though Spitfires is right, they have. But let's say they haven't. For me, it's not, I mean, looking at the last 3 games they get again, not trying to put any clan down, but I think the only one that Loca is going to be potentially worried about is Legion.
Yeah.
Immor will give them a bit of a scare, but they will feel confident against Souls, to be honest.
Yeah. Right. Oof. Stinge, what do you think?
Loca. I haven't seen too much games from Loca, but every time I've seen them play is like they're on point with what they do usually. If they have the right idea, the execution will be like they will win, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's generally just if they make the wrong call, then they are gonna lose. But that's like with basically every team. So.
Yeah, so it's more like the macro stuff that could let them down, to be honest.
Yeah, in my opinion, it is.
Yeah, that could be the macro stuff.
But that's with every team, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that we have already said about Loca before, about Loca. Yeah, I believe so. Do you have anything to say about Loca?
You're talking to me?
Yeah, that do, yeah.
I just like how everybody likes to get on the bandwagons here, and they sometimes forget the big picture. If you remember originally, they were kind of my prediction when everything started, but their gameplay and the skills left quite a bit of questionable, questionability in the outcome of whether that would, be determined for them to be the front runners or not. Um, I think they're on a high right now. They're obviously a really strong team. I don't know about their internal structure though. I don't know, at the core if they're as stable or as strong as some of the other teams maybe. That can be the only thing really to work against them. I think is more a psychological gameplay than the actual, gameplay because as we see, they're doing really good. But even though if they keep it up they will submit a top four position, but even though that doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, even once they make the top four, that's because of the instability and the prove your skills. I wouldn't put them at the top just per se right now.
Interesting call. Anyone would like to add anything about Loca?
Just one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said previously, it's Loca being there top four for a long time. Okay. And it's about time they stepped up, and I'm hoping that this is their time to step up.
True.
Seriously.
Yes. Okay, so
I think if I had to say something.
Yeah. Sure.
Like when we knew we were qualified to top 8.
Yeah.
We started discussing about the problems we had during the Pro skills, and this is something that some stuff that we fixed. Much of the stuff that we fixed helped us to perform like we performed for the past 5 days. And now I think that we're just missing the snowball effect. Like some of our games we lost were games we had advantage on the early game.
Yeah.
We had like a clear advantage, but still we threw it and lost. And this is something we should, I think, take care of before the end of the top 8 qualifiers.
Yeah.
The top 8 stage, sorry. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty proud of my team because we fixed many stuff, like a lot of stuff that was slowing us down and preventing us from doing what we did for the past 5 days.
Right.
So I'm happy with that.
I agree with that snowball effect analogy because if you can learn from your mistakes and step up your gameplay, again, that's what Fusion is saying about step up. And so it looks like that is happening, and that's a good thing for you guys at the current moment. That's for sure.
Yeah. So let's move on to Raid here.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna move out after
Dear.
this.
Oh, no.
Thanks for your time. Have a nice day, guys.
See you later, Spitfires, mate. All the best for tomorrow.
Thank you, man.
I like Raid here.
Yeah, Raid's trailer is possibly my favorite.
There we go. Raid. I've only seen more of the game. Oh, a lot of people left. I only see more of the games of Raid here. It would be me streaming Raid, Loca vs Raid. And you know what? I also saw a game of Raid vs Endgame earlier on Peter's stream. It's hard to say about Raid. Because I think it's like the opposite of Loca here, that the micro details have not been dealt with very nicely, but their macro part I think is what they're good at. So sometimes you see some of the rotations, some of the kind of pincer movements. I think they are good. They are the reason why they won the game. But the micro details, let's say the formation, sometimes they kind of isolated themselves a bit, and the horizontal straight line is not there. Focus fire sometimes could be a problem, and with some bounces happening going on, this is kind of what I worry about Raid, and this seems to be a bigger problem than what Loca's micro details. Not that I mean, let me rephrase that a bit. Like Raid's micro detail, the problem with that micro detail is bigger than the problem with the macro detail of Loca. Let's put it this way. So Raid currently with 2 points and losing to both Endgame and also to Loca, which I think, these two teams are really good teams. And I think tomorrow it will be a big match day for them, especially if they need to win against Win, and if they don't, then I'm really worried about their top four, the top four chances here.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel sorry for Raid to an extent because there's always a high expectation because they won the Twister.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't get me wrong, they've got some great players. They've got some fantastic players. But there are also some notables missing. You know, I'm talking the likes of Messi and Finblue, who were staple in those previous teams. Now, this is not the Raid that won Twister, guys. This is Raid, still dominant, still brilliant, but it's not the same Raid. And they're still coming together. I think they probably will scrape, they possibly may scrape through top four for this tournament. But they probably won't be setting the world on fire. But this is a team for the future, is what I personally think. The reason I say that, they're not as dominant as they used to be. And a lot of people look at Raid and they look at the old Raid that won Twister, to be honest with you. And this is not that team. It's just not that team. And, you know, at the end of the day, they've got the potential, they've got the players, they've got the strats, they've got the mindset, and they've got some of the experience with the likes of S1K, Drizzle, Playmaker, Blaster, Toby, etc., etc. But again, it's just, you know, I have to keep coming back to this. This is not the team that won Twister, and everybody looks at Raid that way. And when they lose, they go, "Oh, wow, how did that happen?" Because this is Raid that won Twister, and they're still progressing. They're still coming together. And they're still a tough team, and they're still a brilliant team. But they're not the same brilliant team that they used to be.
Yes. The deal for
I was just gonna hit on that. They're still strong, and I think that's the mistake, is that people were gonna underestimate them though as not being, you know, a previous team though. I think that's the problem, is that maybe the expectation is there, but I personally don't think so. Like, I mean, you know, obviously it's hard to fill people's shoes, but in reality, I don't think they have any shoes to fill. I think that they just need to play their game. They need to go there and play as the team that they are and use the strengths that they have.
Well, they've got some new players in there. I mean, Nara Assassin has come from Vale. He's a great player. And he probably fits nicely into the Raid mold with his playstyle. But he's new, and he's now got to get used to that. He's only been in Raid since the end of September, so he's got to get used to the way they play, the way the calls are done, etc., etc. And that's always difficult when you're coming into a team like Raid, who have got all this history behind them. And that's, again, it's not to say that they're still not a strong team, but they're not. I have to keep going back to it. They're not the team that won Twister. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But they are. I mean, if they don't win, if they don't get into the top four, and there are teams in there that can knock them out, don't get me wrong. There are. Raid are by no means guaranteed top four in this one. Then they are certainly a team that will build in, again, come back to dominate in the future. Don't write them off. No. But the reason I feel sorry for them is because everybody holds this massive expectation for Raid, which is unfair for them, because they are rebuilding to an extent.
Yeah. Sage, what do you think?
Raid. Like, they usually have the good macro, like you are saying. Like, they know where to push, but they struggle with just forming the essentials of the push itself sometimes.
Yeah.
Like so, like what I've seen with Raid is that when they push, one person is sometimes spearheading a bit too far forward, and he gets decimated instantly. If you look at the gameplay, like usually it's not the two tanks pushing together, but it's one in like a line behind each other that they push in. Instead of pushing in like
Horizontal straight line.
yeah,
That's
like
what I always call. That's a term that's a technical term that I always use in my stream.
yeah, but even if they are like in the same pocket, right? You know, like there's two tanks on like say the bridge on Ube.
Yeah.
They're like hold down E5s. They are ready to rush. Instead of going next to each other, they will actually wait for one person to get in front. And I don't think you should do that.
No, you shouldn't make a vertical straight line because that made it easy for the opponent to focus fire. The reason why I'll keep on insisting and using the term horizontal straight line, because if you put your team into a horizontal straight line, because the teams are next to each other, not in front or behind one another, there are two big advantages in that. First, if that tank needs some shielding, you can kind of regroup very quickly and then shoot that tank. Secondly, it's going to be difficult for the opponents to find which target to go into focus. Because if it's a vertical straight line, a tank in front and then a tank behind, you definitely know that there's a tank behind and you can't reshoot it. You obviously would go for the tank in front of that. If you see what I mean there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I'll say it will be the micro details that Raid needs to improve on, and also the shot effectiveness could let them down at times. So I think that
I mean, looking at Raid, okay, they beat Souls and they beat Legion, which was a fantastic game, by the way.
Yeah.
But they did lose to Loca and they did lose to Endgame.
Yes.
Raid will be buoyed up with the fact that, in their eyes, going into the final stages of this competition, they have got APA win in Immortals.
Yes.
And that will aid them no end. They've got the top four teams out of the way as far as they're concerned.
Yes, they did as well. I think in fact, Thomas Stevenson said Raid would qualify to the top four in the end, and Endgame would be actually the team that would be struggling to get into top four, but we will see.
Well, at the moment, I mean, you've got Raid, Endgame, and Immortal, so all on 2 points, realistically. So Raid will be looking. Well, they'll think, well, we can turn over APA, we can turn over Win potentially.
Yes.
Our biggest challenge is going to be Immortal, because Immortal are going to be aiming for that spot, because they're almost there as well. And that's going to be the one for Raid. And it all depends. Will the likes of APA and Win sit back and say, hang on a minute, we can get there too? It all depends on that. Raid have got the potential and the ability and the capability and the players to get there into the top four, without a shadow of a doubt. But you have to factor in, there's a lot at stake in this tour. This isn't the Prove Your Skill tour to get to this tour. No. This is now to get to the big prize tour afterwards.
Yep.
And, you know, I would hate to see no team fighting to get there. So, whilst Raid may think they've got an easy roll in the last three, I don't think it's going to be as easy as they think.
No.
But we will see. We will see.
Great. So let's move on to shall we? And let's get it straight up. So, let me start first. I think I think their chances in top 8 are pretty bleak. The team I think with the least chance of getting the top 4 in the end, and the reason because they only won 5 matches and 4 of them come from wins against APA and one more for EG. And by the way they played, as I saw against EG, they looked they looked they looked as if they are the second best team there, and by some margin as well. The kind of them conserving hit points. Not sure about as conserving hit points. Individual skills and stuff like that. What I'm seeing here is so struggling in the top 8, and if they want to get into top 4, they must at least be as good as what they did in the second last previous tournament against Raid. They need to be even better than that in terms of punishing the enemies and also themselves. They need to up their game as well individually, and the micro details. That is also very important.
I don't disagree. I mean, Souls have always been realistically. Let's be fair on Souls. They've always been a top 8 team, but they've always been a bottom top 8 team. And I hate to say this in the game. I like the guys in Souls. They've got some great players. I mean, they've got some fantastic guys, but I can't see them breaking into the top 4 anytime soon.
Not yet. But don't get me wrong, Brigulo is a really good caller. He's probably.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, Pan Sultan, I like him. He's a great guy. Wunderkind is brilliant. Pampagula is a great guy. Ethelump is fantastic. I mean, I don't know Pampachon Crew or Boichika.
Yeah,
K-Cross is great. Lightning McQueen is great. I don't really know Winner and I don't really know Internet, to be honest with you. But I've seen the others play. They've got the capability. They've got the team.
Yeah.
They just need. They are a Loca, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Where they're there, but they're not refined enough yet, and they still need a bit of work.
A lot of work, to be honest with you, and especially I think they a lot of them haven't been playing together actually. So
exactly.
Yeah, they need to gel. Basically, they need to gel. But I think Pigula can do it, but not now. But not quite. They could do it, but they need time, and I think with the amount of time they have at the moment, it's not enough yet. But
absolutely.
I think
absolutely. I totally agree with you there, mate. And they've got the potential, just not this time around.
Not this time.
But and please, I know players like jumping ship and going to a better camp. Please try and stick together so you can get there next time, because you will. Yeah. You really can. I mean, they can do it. Yeah. They are a solid top 8 team on their day. They just need to now break into that top 4.
Yes.
That's what they've got to do.
Spring season, they showed promise. Like they got some really good performances there. But this.
Let's not talk about the spring season. They came last.
No, they came fifth.
Just above.
They came
fifth. But they had a disappointing spring season, to be fair.
Yeah, but I mean, if you
APA, I mean, Immor were just shocking. APA, less said about them.
APA was surprisingly, I'm going to say surprisingly bad, because they were very good in the Ascents, and then they just completely
they went apart. Yeah, they did. They fizzled completely. The Souls did have a disappointing spring. They could have been better because they were so good in the Ascents. This time round, they haven't got the chance to get top 4, and they know that. We know that. But they've got the chance. But they've got the chance to build on what they've got to really get there next time round, and I think they can do that.
Yeah. I'm saying you can skip us, but I don't want to skip you because let's talk about Souls 4-2 against APA because I think that game could kickstart their campaign if they realize this, because some of the wins are really good. Like for example, the New Bay game there, the New Bay second game. So did extremely well to punish APA for making some extremely impatient moves, and this is what is plaguing APA a lot here as well, because APA sometimes can be extremely impatient in their rushes and
absolutely, yeah.
Souls can punish guys, can punish teams. Yeah, Souls. I think if they could be that Grim Reaper, I mean, their clan logo is a Grim Reaper. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, their mode I think is going to be punish them. I don't. Although like the music, I didn't put in any like kind of tagline there, but they're here to punish people. So
I mean, so far, just jumping in, so far I've only streamed one game of Souls, and that was their first game against Raid. And the thing that came out from there, and again, I'm being an armchair general, guys, and I see Toy Chica and Effilump are in the chat anyway. But I'm being an armchair general. But there was a lot of indecision with Souls in those games. Do we push? Do we not push? Do we stand off? And that was their undoing in that Raid game. They allowed Raid to dominate that map. Those maps.
Raid to regroup, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And that to me was just, well, you know, guys, come on, you're better than this.
Yeah.
And they are better than that. They are better than that.
Normandy, they did well. I think they won in Normandy. Again, it was AP making some bad mistakes, isolating themselves as well. You don't want to just need that day. You want that day every time. Yeah, in order to be top 4 worthy. But seriously, I really think that you guys should kind of spend the off season after that to kind of build a lot in your team, and I do really want to see you coming back in a better shape and form. Because
I mean, they've got the players.
Yeah.
They've got the capability.
Yes.
They just need to bring it together now.
Yes.
And that's the thing. And guys, don't take this the wrong way, but when I saw you against Raid make you look like a 40% team, and you are so much better than that. Yeah. Unbelievably, so much better than that.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a shame to watch because you were like rabbits in headlights against Raid, and you didn't need to be because you can do it, and that's the thing. And it's just, I think it's just they've just got to gel a bit more to know that they can do it.
Yeah.
Because they've got, like I said, they've got the players, they've got everything they need. They've just got to try and mold it somehow.
Right. Stinge, what do you think about SOS?
Oh, I don't even like.
You don't even like them. So let's move on to Delivery then.
That's fun.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about them, but from what I'm gathering, they have some really good players. You know, like Wonderkind and I guess players that have been around a while. They have a lot of unhidden potential, or unlocked potential. Almost, you could say the same as like Loca, though. Whereas they need to like really come together as like a team and start playing as a team. I guess they need to be more decisive in their game plan, because a lot of times it seems like, and I know it's any match you have to adapt to what you're throwing, but it seems like they're too late on adapting to kind of what's going on, and they get confused a little bit, I guess, and that's what makes them look not as strong as they really are, per se.
Right. Hello,
yeah. I mean, just last thing.
They were kind of like my wild card. However, it seems like Win has taken that role as far as like the underdog. But again, it's a lot of this comes down to experience, and a lot of the stronger teams have more experience.
Yeah.
And I think they just need to build on that. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is they need to look at more of the positives of these tournaments, these matches, instead of the negatives. I wouldn't really focus too much on what they did wrong. I would focus on what they're doing right and trying to improve that.
Yes. Oh, your return.
I mean, just one last thing on Souls from me. I mean, it's not. I mean, these guys play a billion times better than I ever could, so I'm not trying to call out that. Yeah. All I'm saying is, from what I've seen of them so far in this tour, not the previous tour, I'm not interested in that. In this tour, they're playing like they think they don't deserve to be there.
Oh yeah.
And they do deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And they need to get that mindset, I think, that they do deserve to be there, they should be there, and they can take on these clans easily. But the gameplay I've seen, it's like they sat there saying, well, I don't think we should be here. It's like we're shocked. And it's not them. It shouldn't be like that, because they, like I said, they deserve to be there.
Right.
But certainly like for the future, if they can build on that team, definitely.
No, I backed that up, and that was kind of my statement with, look at the matches that they won. Look at the matches where they had a positive outcome, and focus on that gameplay and build on that. Don't look at the mistakes that you made, the losses you have. Look at what you did that was successful, and do that again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yori 12 holiday. What do you think about those?
They didn't do that bad, I think. Yeah, they lost against some teams. They lost pretty hard. I think they only won, I think, once. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they only won against APA. Yeah, and the rest, they threw it away.
Yes.
But in my opinion, APA is even worse than that.
Oh, true. The Silver, what do you think about those?
Hello. I come back.
Yeah, hello.
For me, the most important for Souls is they won APA, man. They won the derby. Congrats. Between, I think.
Good luck, have a lump. Sorry,
Okay.
continue.
Oh, I mean, I think the top teams they forgot the IS4. They use more E5s, but not Souls. They still play with the IS4.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's better for the trade. When we lost versus them, we basically lost because the trade. And if they push with 7 tanks, we can do nothing versus with the E5s. So yeah, sometimes they're very good for the push when they pushed.
Right, so yeah, I'll say those they just need more work, and I believe they just need time. And let's see if they could come back in a much stronger form next spring season. And we finally move on to Win, and let's look at the Win trailer first. Where is it? It's the first trailer I made actually. And he's going to shut down General potentially. I think we'll be going through. Rebels trying to block, sir. This is really good attack by Mayuku. Oh man, 1,200 hit points, almost Ariana Grande. Oh, it's an ammo rack from Killer from no fault to no party without me. There we go. Win. To be honest, I can't comment too much about Win because I haven't watched any of their games in the autumn in the BlizzCon preliminaries. I'm going to watch some of them later on if I have time, but I've very little time. My university work so hefty, but I don't know what to say about them. I wish them all the best because I believe they have what it takes to be a top 4 team, but they need to show it in in the remaining 3 fixtures. Because if they lost one of them, then will say goodbye to their hopes. So I think Fidget's been streaming Win for 3 fixtures, so I think you have a better idea.
Yeah, I missed Legion. I missed that game with Legion. I mean, it had that, but I had them for APA, Loca, and Immortals. And okay, Win. I'll be honest. This is just my opinion. I mean, I haven't spoken to them, but I don't think they'll be overly disappointed with their performance in Legion. Yeah. They'll be disappointed the way they lost out to Loca in that final game on Fort Despair, where they were literally trounced upon. But before that, they'll be very happy with their performance. but they'll be bitterly disappointed with their performance against APA. Because Win, no, they could have beat APA, or
They should have won that, yeah.
They should have, yes. And they'll be kicking themselves for that, because that could be that game could be the game changer for Win, to be honest with you. And I think they may know that. They've got some tough opponents going in, Raid and Endgame. But Win are so unpredictable in what they do. They don't play anybody's game, they play their game. And when they play it nicely and when they don't get flustered, they got a bit flustered with APA, is the honest answer.
Yep.
Which is why they'll be disappointed. But when they just settle back down again and do what they do best, then they've got the chance to beat all those teams going in. They really have. I mean, they really gave Loca a run for Loca's money yesterday. Okay, it got to Fort Despair, then Loca turned them over. But don't forget, Wing were 2-0 down, and they brought it back to a decider. They can do it, and they can do it against the big teams. But yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for them, and no doubt they feel sorry for themselves, or they just kick themselves for what happened against APA. I mean, that was just heart-wrenching for them, no doubt, because they should have won. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And had they won that game, then they would not be languishing with one game under their belt.
Yeah.
They'd be up there with the rest of the teams. And this is what I'm saying. That to me was a game changer for Win, which is a shame.
Yeah. Da Silva, what do you think about Win?
For me, it's still possible to get the top 4.
Yeah.
They have Souls, or yes, Souls.
Yeah, they have Souls, Endgame, and Raid.
They have a Raid of extra ahead. Yeah. Tough
They
schedule.
can beat. They can win versus Endgame because they don't have a good motivation at the moment. They can beat Red because they have the dynamic style, and they can beat Red because they are very compact, but they wait for the enemies and win like that.
Yes, they do.
Right, so
they're very flex with the double Vickers.
I mean, I agree with Da Silva there. I mean, they're tough games going in, yes, but you have to look at what's behind the other teams as well. And Da Silva's right. I mean, Endgame are not firing on full cylinders. Raid do like the kind of playstyle. Win like the kind of playstyle Raid employ, and Win feel confident against Souls.
Yes.
But they'll just be disappointed with what happened against APA. And I mean, when they're on the day, they're beautiful to watch because you just don't know what they're going to do. You just really don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yori 12, what do you think about Win?
I think they can still go in top 4. I don't know what they played against Immortals.
Oh, they played well against Immortals. They really did.
Sadly, they lost against APA though.
Yeah.
And Legion. They can definitely win against Raid. I don't know when they face them, but
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah. They can beat them. And Endgame. Yeah, Endgame is maybe a bit tough, but
I mean, they've beaten Endgame numerous times actually back in the previous game,
so it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like they beat Immor in the previous tour, in the previous yesterday was it? Yes.
Yeah, yesterday, yeah.
So they can still win.
Yeah.
They still have a chance.
Yeah.
And I'd love them to be there. I really would. I mean, I think they're a fantastic bunch of guys, and they're a beautiful team to watch. And I would love them to be there. I really would.
Yeah.
But they've got to play like they did against Immortals, not like they did against APA. Seriously.
Yeah. No. Stinge, what do you think?
win. Aggressive, very fun to watch. Very usually quite. How would I say this? They know when a tank is isolated, and they will punish you for it. If they see a tank is isolated, it's gonna get deleted in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Really strong focus fire, in my opinion. Like.
Yeah, focus fire is amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I love the focus fire and the movement with the mediums and lights. They have been very strong with that. But sometimes they need to be careful of the mediums and lights as well because sometimes they got into position that if they are not careful enough, they got hit by a ton of damage. So mediums or lights can be the best thing in their team, could also be the worst thing in their team, to be honest with you. So everything would boil down to whether the mediums or lights for the wins team is able to operate or not. And I think a lot of teams are looking to shut down those mediums and lights of win side. And also, I said it a lot on the stream back in the previous skill tournaments. They need to make sure they don't drop too many hit points at the start of the game. And
yes,
yeah,
they lose too many HP on the trade.
yes, and if they, if it's not because it's not saying that I hate your playstyle, but if you have more hit points on the board, then you're going to make put yourself in an easier situation to handle push or into rushing those enemy tanks. So it's kind of like something we need to put a lot of attention on as to conserving hit points. Yeah, I'm not sure if they have improved in the Blitz Cup preliminaries. I hope they did, but something that that needs to be done more and more. And also, I don't know about them dealing with rush maneuvers from the other team. I hope they have improved on that as well. The deal for you, what do you think?
I think they're from the north. No, I think that they have something that is no other team has, and it's a huge advantage. Is their ability to just literally shell shock their opponents.
Yeah, I love that term.
Yeah, and I mean that's such a massive advantage to have going into matches. Whether your opponent is considered stronger or weaker, it doesn't make a difference. If you have the unpredictability factor. The one thing that I think that in the future would be a huge key to their success is if they were somehow able to improve on their timing. If they could perfect their timing as far as their attacks or counterattacks or however the match is dictated, they would just literally be unstoppable in any match. I think that they're just a victim of just bad timing often, and that's kind of their only flaw, really.
Yeah, I agree. So I believe win in the top 4, it will be hard, but it's doable. So actually, let's move on to you guys, your predictions for top 4 in the end. Let's actually bring this scene back up. So currently, Loca with 4 points, first place. Legion 3 points, and we have 3 clans with 2 points. Immortals, Endgame, and Raid. So I'm going to run my predictions for the next 3 fixtures. The next 3 match days, which is a better term here. And this is going to be my final predictions here. Oh my god, what have I done? What have I done? Because I'm predicting Endgame, Raid, AP, and Subs will be out of top 4. Legion, Loca, Immortals, and Win will be in the top 4. Oh.
What?
Yes, this is my prediction. This is my prediction in the end. I think Legion, Loca, Immortals, and Win will be in the top 4.
Well, would be funny to see though.
That would be great to see. Funny, yeah, it would be funny to see. It'd be interesting.
Yes.
I mean, for me, let's get rid of the ones who are certainly going to be there. And that's going to be Loca because they've already qualified realistically.
Yep.
Legion, I think, will be there definitely, no shadow of a doubt.
Yep.
Endgame, as I said, they're not firing on full cylinders. So unless we see a sea change in them, then they could struggle to get top 4. To be fair, they really could.
And rate as well.
Raid as well, yeah, exactly. I mean, Endgame, looking at their matches going in, they've got Legion, which it's going to be a tough one for Endgame. They may lose that. APA they may win. That will then give them 2.3 points, and then they've got Win, who have the ability to turn them over. So there's no guarantee that Endgame will get there. And the same with Raid, as you say, there's no guarantee Raid will.
No.
Immor have got the ability to do it, but they have got some tough matches for lads at Immor.
Yes.
They do have some tough matches. They've got Loca, which is going to be a toughie. Souls, which they should be able to turn over. And then they've got Raid, which, to be honest with you, I don't foresee Immor not being able to turn over Raid. Immor's got the capability and the ability to do it.
Yeah.
So
what's okay?
But if they can do it, my top 4 realistically would probably be Legion, Loca, Immor in Raid.
Ooh.
But it's a tricky one because I then think if we see Win play like they played against Loki yesterday and against Immor before they got to their defeat with Loca, then Win do have a possibility to get there. But it's an uphill struggle for them. Let's not kid that. They've got to win all 3 games.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yeah.
And as much as I'd love to see Win there because I think they're fantastic, I think it may be a bridge too far, so to speak.
Ooh, okay. The Silver,
I think you're right about APA and Souls. It's just about who's going to get in potentially Endgame because they're not firing fully yet.
Yeah. The Silver, what do you think about your top 4 predictions?
I'm sure about Legion and Loca.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't know, man.
Hello, Chipoto.
I think through Endgame, man. I think it will be between me, Immor, Red, or maybe Win. I think.
Yeah. Endgame, Raid, Immortals, and also
because I'm sure Win can beat Red Endgame. I'm sure about that.
Okay, so how about you? This is not Thomas Peterson's prediction. It is this is my prediction. So don't blame it on Thomas Peterson on this. Yours, well, what will be your top 4 predictions in the end?
I think Legion, Loca, Immor, and Win.
Oh, you're having the same. You have the same prediction as I do. Oh.
I really like to see that. If yeah, 2 of the big 4 are not in.
Oh, okay. I mean, that would be a huge shock in my opinion. It's possible, but I do think Win has a really big chance of not making it. But then, I'm just going to make the unpredictable here and say Win going through to the next one. Nightbot, what do you think? Oh, sorry, it's going to be Stinge. What do you think?
I wasn't really paying attention. Who are we talking about?
Top 4. Your final top 4. Your final top 4 for the EU server.
Local Legion, definitely.
Yeah.
Then I'm hoping Win, but I'm not sure. but I'm pretty sure that Raid will get in. And then then it's doubts. Then it's like win or EG in my opinion. That's top 4.
Oof.
Interesting stuff.
I hope Pincer is going to make top 4 at least.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, there's a danger there in North America. To be fair, there is a danger. There's a big danger.
Yeah.
I was streaming Ishtia earlier today.
Yeah.
They were impressive. They were very impressive.
They won, right?
Yeah, they tramped 7 Rats and NN quite convincingly. But no, did I have both? No, who did I have?
GMA.
Wretched Eggs. They trounced Wretched Eggs, and they turned over Pincer as well, quite easily, 4-3. But against Rats, I mean, boy, they were just unstoppable.
Yeah.
So in Pincer are struggling, to be fair. They've got GMA next. Shiro, they should beat Shiro easily, and then they've got Rain. So it's all to play for over there on NA. Telling you.
Yeah. So let's move on to the DU4 review. What will be your top 4 predictions for the DU server?
I'm probably gonna go with Legion, Rain.
Raid?
Raid, yeah. I'm gonna go with Legion, Raid. EG and Loca, probably in that order.
Okay, Loca in the 4th place. Oh, that's interesting. But I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in top 4, then you're in top 4. So so you're predicting all the big 4 will be in. Okay, it will be interesting to see. But I think out of all the top 4, of all the big 4 here, the teams outside of big 4, Immortals have the bigger chance in sealing a place in the top 4. But you have to make sure Gaseo is not salty and he's working in full capacity. That is very important.
Gaseo salty, huh?
Oh, you forgot about his saltiness, really.
No, of course not.
Since when?
No, I mean sometimes he could be a little bit salty with. I mean, for example, Wargaming Stuff. I still remember the Wargaming Stuff heated exchange back then, but it was it was a long time.
Everybody gets salty with Wargaming. I mean, it's not part of the course.
Yeah, then he gets salty with other clans as well, but then, well, that's past stuff, so let's look forward to the future anyway. I mean, my heart is saying Legion, Loca, Immortals and win, but my mind is saying Legion, Loca, and Game and Raid, so I'm going with my heart here.
That sounds a little bit familiar. Of what those predictions, they sound a little familiar.
Why?
Why?
Those are the ones I just reiterated, or you did, vice versa.
Dada, you're just
Yeah, I'm going with my heart on this. Legion, Loca, Immortals and win will be the top 4, I think. No, I think. My heart thinks. So let's actually go back with the current scoreboard of the EU server right now. So then tomorrow you won't see something. Oh, make sure you remember. Make sure you tell me to set up the stream delay again before I.
Yes, set up the stream delay. Don't do. What others do.
Yeah, but unfortunately, tomorrow Asia server stream, I don't have a whole stream, so I can't start a new stream if I forgot to do that. But let's look at.
I want to know. I want to know what some of the people here think of those trailers. If they have any favorites or anything.
Oh yeah, trailers. Yeah. What do you think about? What trailers you? What are your favorite trailers so far?
No comment.
Yeah, I haven't seen them all, so I can't say. But I like the idea. I like the idea. To be honest with you, I think it's fantastic.
Oh, T-Dub is here.
I think it's fantastic. So don't be surprised when I nick the idea.
No, but do you guys have any of your favorites in the of the trailers you've seen so far? I mean, I got a playlist of the trailers, so you can go ahead and watch them all. Yeah. But personally, I say my most favorite trailers I made, I'm very proud of would be actually Cats. I really like Cats trailer, and then for EU server, it's quite like a draw between Raid and Endgame. I do like these two trailers as well. But we'll see. But let me know what will be your most favorite trailers here. But before we wrap it off, let's actually go back to Asia server because it's not given a lot of attention. Sorry? Yeah. Before we wrap it off, let's actually go back. Oh, I can't hear myself. T-Dub. Sorry? Yeah. Before we... That's alright, I have to mute you a bit. Sorry. Okay. Oh, the silver is gone. So let's go back to Asia server for a moment first. To show them some love here. Let's go back to the leaderboard right now, and I will reiterate here again. The top 4 you're seeing right now will be the final top 4. I think in the end, I don't think that we're going to see any changes. And so far, RN has been very disappointing for the BlizzCon preliminaries. I don't know why they fizzled so terribly. They're so horribly here, but I don't know why they haven't managed to one single fixture. I thought they're going to be like top of table at this point on the day here, but they won nothing. None of the fixtures, which surprised me a lot. But I think the final top 4 will be Feast, GB, HLB, and ID. What do you think, Fidget?
Well, I mean, I've not seen HLV yet. Feast I've seen, and they're through anyway. But I mean, Feast have been very, very brilliant, to be fair.
Yes.
So far this tour, so I don't think there's any danger of them not getting through. It'll be ID. I mean, I streamed ID yesterday, and they did well, but they've got to step a little bit. I'm not GV. Well, they sort of came a cropper against Feast. Feast really turned them over and showed some of their flaws. But I think your top 4 is probably about right. To be honest with you, RN really haven't shone as of yet.
No.
Cats and Boom, well, they could have shone, but they just haven't been managed to finish it off in that final third, realistically.
Yeah.
And Low have done okay, but they need to do better.
Well, I mean,
right.
I think Low have actually exceeded expectations because Madbox is saying Low would not win any of the games at all, and they actually won now 9 games and with 2 points here, so they've exceeded their expectations here. Yeah. The deal for you, what do you think? Oh yeah. I asked you before. What will be your final top 4 predictions for Asia server?
Oh man, it's such a wild card. I think Feast, they really stepped up their gameplay, and I think they probably cemented a top 4.
Yeah.
That's good to see. GV looks real strong. Man, I don't know what happened to RN. I was kind of going for Cats. Boone is not looking the strongest.
Oh, but they
Low
won
had
12
some unexpected wins. What's that?
We won 12 games, so they only got 1 point though.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think it's pretty much as listed. I mean, you got Feast, GV, HLV, and ID. I mean, HLV is looking rather impressive. I didn't expect them to play as strong as well as Feast. So the teams that are stepping up that needed to secure a position, that's what's happening. So it's just it looks like the gameplay is just breaking down to the teams that either want it more or getting luckier, either way you want to look at it.
Yeah. So kind of the final standings. Let me go and see. Yep. My final predictions would be Feast, HLV, ID, and GV. I mean, Boone and Cats are very closely behind, but RM will be leaving this tournament with 2 points only. So Boone, I think they will be winning 23 matches, which is very sad, to be honest. So yeah, this is not Madbox prediction. This is my prediction, and I think we'll see Feast, HLV, ID, and GB in the end. I don't know what to say here. I don't have anything to add. Do you have anything? Do you guys have anything to add about tonight's your top 4 predictions or for both servers?
No, I mean that's for me. I mean, is what it is.
Well, I mean, I want to remind people that this is just like the prove your skills. The standings aren't the standings. Like the whole cliche, the saying, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, right? Mm-hmm. And so, even though we have a top 4 established, that's when the gameplay is going to start to get interesting, because out of the top 4, you probably really can't even predict one.
Yeah. No, you can't. And hopefully when I got to stream, I don't know if I would, then in the Blitz Cup, then hopefully if I could be able to follow RU Asia and also you, that would be really good. I mean, the games will be extremely exciting to watch, and I'm very sure that the audience will be very pumped and also exhilarated by the displays of the top 4 teams of all the servers, not just EU or RU servers. I believe NA and Asia servers, they will deliver us extremely exciting stuff.
Absolutely, I don't disagree.
Yeah. So with that being said, nothing much to add, so I'm going to end the stream very soon. So thank you all for joining into this open forum. Thank you all for watching the stream. I hope you agree with our predictions, and I hope we're going to see some exciting matches tomorrow and on Sunday. So tomorrow, Asia server, I'll be following what clans I'm following here. Let me get my schedule up for a minute. Tomorrow I'll be following on the Asia server RN versus GV, and then RN versus Team ID. For the EU server, I'll be following Loca versus Immortals, and then Immortals versus Souls. How about Fujit?
Tomorrow I've got. That's a good question. Hang on, let me just get my schedule up. So tomorrow I have Cats against Feast, followed by Boone against Feast.
Right.
And that is a coin stream, actually.
Yeah.
And then later I have on EU, I will have Win against Souls, followed by Win against Raid.
Right.
And then on North America, I will have... Oh, I hate this. Because they don't give me... They've given me the team names, not the clan names.
Yeah.
So I've got one against Insurgents. So Insurgents are Pincer.
One is GMA.
One is GMA.
Yeah.
And then I've got Speed, which I believe is Void, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Against Astro, which I believe is NM.
Yes.
MM is the Moonman, by the way. Everybody says Min, but on NA we typically call them the Moonman. So.
And that's all I've got tomorrow. And then on the last day, I have Rain against Pincer. That's match 7, so I've got that one. That's a biggie.
Yes. So, without further ado, goodbye to everyone. Stay safe, wear a mask, and I will see you very soon. Going to count 10 seconds, maybe.
I just have to say before you go, best of luck tomorrow to all the clans, to be fair. I'm sure they'll all put their best foot forward and do what they can, but really good luck to every single one of them. regardless of what server you are on, because they all deserve to be there, and they've all got it within their capability to triumph. So seriously, I've got no particular dislikes or favourites. I just wish all of them the best, and really good luck for tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. Yeah. Good luck to win as well. Just, I really love win. I want them to succeed. Yes. Hello, Dragon Lee. You're late. I'm going to end the stream. Sorry.
Absolutely. But yeah, Chipolatas Live. Yeah, I've got some amazing matches. Despite the fact I haven't got a single coin stream in America, I just think Wargaming are feeling sorry for me for having to get up so early or not go to bed. One of the two.
Yeah, I wish we had more NA streamers. His royalty, no, his royalty, no, his royal fatness. Persuade him to stream. But I think
He
he's
can't
playing.
stream. He plays. He's playing. He can't stream.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. That's true. The deal for real go stream. Right.
I don't think that would be wise. I don't think that would be wise at all.
I mean, it was there's Papa Rage and Droodles and Fishy. I mean, Papa Rage is Spanish, of course, and there was Ainier, who was Spanish as well.
Yeah.
But Fishy, when he can, I mean, he can't do in the week, I believe, but he can do weekends. And yes, you've got Droodles, who gets a lot of viewers. I mean, he had, 300 and 400 viewers today compared to my motley 30.
Yeah. I'm envious.
Well, by 30.
No, I'm envious on both.
But no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a trauma for me to stream NA, but I do like it. It's enjoyable to stream.
I mean, I wish it's going to be a better time for me because well, I mean, yeah, it's not that bad, 2 a.m. But then I already slept by then, so.
Yeah, I mean, the downside I've got for streaming NA is obviously I'm not completely well known over there. I did stream their Challenges tour a year or so ago.
Yeah.
But it's mainly the streams for NA used to be done by Droodles and Amunet. And, having Fishy and, Rolling in Amunet. And having Fishy and Droodles, who obviously play a lot on the NA server, they're based there. The NA viewers tend to interact more with them. I mean, I'm just a Brit who comes over and sort of, steps in to their server to do some random commentary on their tournaments.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love it. It's enjoyable. But it takes time for the viewers to know who you are, what you're doing, and why you're there.
Yeah.
To be honest.
True. I'm literally going to end the stream now, so I'm going to count for 10 seconds and then I'll stop the stream. Thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow.
Maybe I can survive till 3 a.m.
Oh, then you should stream.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Probably
No,
not.
probably not.